Welcome to the RSP NFL Lens. I'm Matt Waldman with the Rookie Scouting Portfolio. We're going to take a look at rookie wide receiver out of Baylor, Denzel Mims with the New York Jets. And this guy, he is doing three things really well, and it's the reason why he's earning 18.2 yards per catch over the past 3 weeks with Sam Darnold and Joe Flacco. One is catch radius, the other is owning the boundary, and the third is being able to get off the jam. And you can see the example of catch radius here as he works from left to right at the bottom of your screen. You can see that he goes up for the ball at the earliest point. Look at the hand position that he has here. You can see that as we freeze the frame, thumbs together, hands at the earliest catch point extended up and away from his frame so he can make this catch early and control it while the defender is wrapped around him. Excellent job on this play. And it's not just about extending high for the ball. You're going to see Mims on the outside of this trips right set, work outside towards the numbers, and then break back inside. And then Sam Darnold, knowing that the ball needs to go between these two linebackers in zone, takes a couple little hitch steps and leads Mims between these two linebackers. And watch Mims here extend for the ball. Great job extending at a late window away from his frame downfield and snaring that ball. Excellent look here. This is a guy that you can see that the Jets are beginning to trust these quarterbacks in terms of that he's going to be able to win the ball. You can lead him to the ball and put it a little away from him, and he can still make the play. And vertically, he's reliable in this sense too. Bottom right, works downfield with tight coverage. The defender turns and looks early. Mims continues to run, and look at that extension for the ball over his shoulder. Does a great job with that extension. Good concentration, good ball tracking, and he owns that boundary. He's not so close to the boundary, and this is something you consistently see with this game that we're going to look at in a moment, is that he stays, as far away from the boundary as he can until late in the play where then he can fade to it. Top right here, singled up. He's going to work the crossing route, low and away throw. Watch the job extending below the waist at the knees here, running away from the target. That's an awkward target to have to catch. And he does it right here very well. Slows down a bit, but good extension with the arms. Pulls it back in. Again, makes the first man miss with the little stiff arm. Gets extra yards. So when you have the combination of a receiver who can extend for the ball, but also understands that he needs to stay away from the boundary as wide as possible to give his quarterback the room to be able to throw these fade routes so that you release and not immediately go to the boundary, but stay further inside the flat, and then you can fade to the boundary late like this. It's a terrific combination. Here's another example, bottom left. He's going to work outside with a little stutter and then a little bit of a wipe, but he doesn't get too wide. He begins to flatten out his route and gets downfield and then works into the back shoulder of the defender to maintain that distance away from the boundary until late in the route, and that gives the quarterback plenty of room and opportunity to throw that ball where Mims can just turn and make the catch wide of the boundary and stay in bounds. And that's just a really nice job by Mims on this part, being able to stay inside that shoulder, turn back to the outside, get his back to the defender, and have plenty of room to make the catch in bounds. This is another good example of Mims owning the boundary, bottom right, little stutter, works back to the outside, drives downfield, and begins to look back to the ball, but never really raises his hand. So he looks back early, and the defender, seeing him look back for so long, now is baited into turning and looking for the ball, and he turns too early, and that allows Mims, who's already owned this boundary so well and has turned early but never raises his hands, to then be able to fade away, get his hands up late. Perfect technique with his thumbs together to make that catch inbounds. So the third important component of the skills that Mims is displaying consistently is ability to get off the jam. Bottom left, you're going to see a nice read step, really sells it. I mean, gets his pads over his knees, extends the feet well, and then comes back to the inside with a little bit of a swat and then get inside. That gives him a fighting chance to win this route. This is another nice release. Bottom left, you're going to see him make that read step to the outside, swim over to the inside, brings that inside arm to kind of swat and then swim over top. And if he could just turn and look earlier, because he needed to know that the safety down below was going to be the reason why Joe Flacco is going to let this ball go early, and it's going to be a tighter window on this little skinny post. He might have been ready for the ball. The ball's near it, just coming inside the 40 here, and he's just making his turn. It's too late, and the ball's a little bit behind anyway. But this is the type of thing that he needed to be a little more prepared for. He might have been able to adjust out of his break. He had the leverage here. But overall, Denzel Mims is an impressive player with this trio of skills, and I would continue to monitor his progress because I think he's on his way to becoming one of the better receivers in this rookie class. Thanks again for watching. For more RSP NFL Lens videos, you can check out my YouTube channel, Matt Waldman's RSP Film Room, and my site, www.mattwaldmanrsp.com.